Well, hello. Welcome back to a brand new episode of DUD or SPUD. I'm Maniacal Mac. As you can see on the border, it's a Christmas special, being in December, isn't it? So plenty of Christmas-themed films to get through this year. So here's the second one of the year. It came out in 2013 and it's called Christmas Cruelty. Apparently it's a Norwegian slasher film. Some killer dressed up as Santa killing people. If that's done well, it is done really well in here. You know, there are plenty of films where it's been done terrible, but you get the odd little surprises here and there. However, it's called Christmas Cruelty, so if this film does turn out to be shit, and it makes my Christmas real cruel because I wasted my time watching it, I can't be too mad because arguably they're admitting it at the title of the film. Or do they mean what we think? It's going to be about a cruel Christmas because of a killer? Could it be a mix of both? We don't know till we watch. On that note, if you've seen this, what did you make of it? After my reaction and my review at the end, do you agree with me? Do you think I'm completely insane? I am, but do you think my decision in the film was completely insane? You know what I mean? Any comments to drop about it? Any suggestions to movies? Let me know. Otherwise, wherever you're from in the world, happy holidays. And let's get into Christmas Cruelty from 2013. Guy just opens up with this. Some guy's, head-butted a fridge? Yeah. So he's kidnapped the family, and this is a daughter, and he's doing this in front of them all tied up. This is a pretty rough start to a film.
This is not a dream.
Right, this is more like he's getting all the power tools. That's the only power tool I want to see him using. Fucking hell. Like, I get why they do it. Like, shock value and to make you show this guy is, like, really disturbing. Yeah, I get it, but, it would have been so much better if you just opened up him torturing people. You know, but each to their own, innit? I mean, I never reviewed this movie, so I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but there's a baby there, and he's got a saw. May as well do the smallest one first. It's going to be a heavily edited episode, by the way. Okay, someone's filming this, then, are they? Because as he done it, it jittered and he moved away. Then you could see the camera shadow guy move. So, is he being followed by a camera guy, or was that done for the effect and they didn't think, yeah, you can see the actual camera guy running? But anyway, what a rough intro, I'm gonna say. I was thinking, it's gonna be, a silly B-movie, guy dressed as Santa, murdering people with chainsaws and that. Cool. That's not, well, kind of got it with a baby, so it's even more than I was expecting. That's what I mean, usually with these kind of films, I get a rough idea, and I'm like, it's going to be a dumb, silly B-movie, so it don't matter who they kill, it's not going to look realistic, it's going to turn into a rubber doll. Don't think they're going for that with this one, just saying,
Winnie Jones eller något.
This is filmed in Norway, I believe this was made, and he goes, looks like you had a fight with Vinnie Jones. They're chucking Vinnie Jones out there out of all references, but interesting.
Ett liten Asbjørn Brekke på jul.
That's a description, fair play to him, you know what I mean? 2013, innit? Fair enough, So we're having quite a long, drawn-out scene, right? They've been plastering each other's faces because they want to make masks, for the whole Krampus Day and shit like that to scare kids, whatever. And he had this little comedy moment where he's trying to rip it off and take facial hair off, and then when he did anyway, although there's some in a mask, his eyebrows are still there. It was a bit silly and that. It's gone on for a while, but more so, the tone's changed. It went from a very what the fuck opening to let's have quite funny, goofy characters. Okay?
Vad fan har förväntat skulle ske?
Look at this. He's in a wheelchair dressed as Freddy, and he also used the term cunt face. I've only ever heard that maybe 3 times in my life, and I was by Welsh people. We got a lot in common, Norway, with some of the fucking shit you say. What the fuck? You're so fucking stupid. You could have been on a short bus all by yourself. Yeah, fair enough. 2013, sign of the times in it and stuff but I imagine, if Norway is, are you still like this? Are you releasing films saying shit like that in today's day and age? I don't know. It's interesting if you are. So they're just going around pranking people now, a bunch of kids, right? Why is it flashing to... Who is that? Is that supposed to be the serial killer guy? I don't know.
Tusen takk. Det grunnfett i...
What the fuck's with the editing?
I don't know.
It's so weird because this is a film and it feels like I'm watching a TikTok video. You know, like them people who want to say a single sentence that'll last 10 seconds, but they cut it up 15 times. So when you do this, you know, they've done that but a film.
What the fuck? Herregud. Det var bara herregud.
And the colour grading just randomly changes and shit. Like, my computer's running fine, but honest to God, if I was playing a computer game right now, it'd be it's glitching out, Alt F4 and restart, but this is a pre-rendered film, so how was that even possible?
I don't know.
Were you just drunk editing it? Did you just put a preset on it and forgot to go in and tweak it up?
Bet your ass.
Like, it's obviously a stylistic choice, because there's these quick cut edits to other shit to be artsy. Not working, but part of me is genuinely like, have I got like an unfinished version or a fucked up version or... This is fucking weird, this choice of editing, son. Right, I don't know who the director is, but my assumption is you've done a lot of music videos prior to this, and you said, how do we edit music videos? Let's do that for a film. Maybe for like a quick segment, like, or something like, you know, maybe you're in there for a couple of seconds. I've been doing this constantly for people just fucking talking in a room.
Pathetic.
So, I swear to fucking God, this is like a music video and he just edited him wanking in it afterwards and went, oh, we'll chuck down the film.
What?
So he's come across the woman we saw earlier. I don't know how her in particular. Does he just randomly go on websites and find people's driving licenses and goes, oh, I like you, have a wank over you, you're next. Is that what it is?
Hollandse ost.
When he said, do you want to try some real Dutch cheese? I thought, being that he runs, you know, sells trees, he was going to pull out like a bag of bud and be like, this is the Dutch cheese, baby. But nope, it's literal just Dutch cheese. Okay. Okay, so a half hour in. That wasn't a super long scene, but it's a scene about them just buying a Christmas tree. Christmas Cruelty opens up with a very, like, what the fuck, kind of like the Sinful Dwarf vibes. Goes into, like, goofy shit. Turns into a music video with the guy wanking, and now he's gone back to being goofy again. Okay. They've literally, like, put enough fucking alcohol in there to fucking kill a giant. And I think they're sharing that just between the three of them. Fair enough, like. That's how he does the decorations. Literally just goes fucking chuck it on a tree. It's like this guy's a total dickhead, but at the same time, he's one of the more interesting characters, I'll give him that. Like, I was going to say, oh, why are you only doing one thing of that? But that's nothing but fucking... At that rate, that's probably, like, I don't know, 1,750% alcohol. You'll die off a single fucking sip. So, something I did notice, this film is like an hour and 37 minutes or something like that. So, before I even started watching, I was like, oh, no, it's a bit long, but, you know, if it's full of, you know, action and whatever... I make this comment all the time, don't I? If it's a long film, it's going to be padded out. Fucking right. Opened up, we had 5 minutes of nastiness. Since then, it's basically, and you know, bar that quick scene where he's having a wank, it's pretty much just been like, let's make a goofy little comedy about, like, 3 flatmates. And we're 40 minutes in a film called Christmas Cruelty. This advertises a horror?
Ah, go on.
Yeah, she's playing the guitar with his legs and that. Like, you could say all this, like, really isn't insensitive. I just checked out, like, that actor in real life is in a wheelchair. He's got nicknames that he's happy to go by. I think, like, Roller Boy and shit like this. And they've made loads of jokes about him being a cripple and that. But, also, they all go by their own name. His character's name's his name in real life. That lady who plays Elaine is Elaine in real life. So it's obviously quite a personal thing to them in some way, but... Did he just put loads of... Is that a real fish in it? That don't look fake, because that's pretty fucked. Christmas Cruelty, the most cool part of the film, I guess, you know, but, So yeah, he's in a wheelchair in real life, and he's obviously being like, yeah, A-OK, all these jokes about me being like that. So anyone Karens are going, how can you be like that? The guy's in a fucking wheelchair, he's laughing about himself, so how can you be offended when he's not? Just saying, like, you know?
Gotcha.
So he just he's just jumped into the Christmas tree and knocked it over and they're all laughing about it. Okay. Fucking rectum gerbil. Like, some of the shit they say in this film, like, if anyone who speaks Norwegian or, you know, knows Norwegian language himself, it's just like quite common to call people, like, to say it's cunt freezing outside. Is that a common thing? Let me know. She's offering to give it a ride home with this. Because that was another thing. I was like, I just assumed they were all housemates, but she was like, oh, I gotta go home, swallow a box of painkillers and get the fucking bed. I'm hungover as fuck. She's like always hanging around with him. I assumed that they, well, obviously they're good friends, but I just assumed they all live together. But no, he's taking her home now. In a film called Christmas Cruelty, which we're 50 minutes in, besides the intro, we've had absolutely 0% cruelty. Unless you want to count the jokes, but they're all happy about it, so if they're not offended, how can you be, kind of thing, you know? Although, look at this shot. Tell me that's not filmed on a mobile phone. I get the whole grainy effect added after, and it was 2013. But 2013, people like had mobile phones that could film this quality better. So he's got his own family, I guess.
What the fuck?
Far skal
And then it's just flashing back to the intro.
akkurat.
Kan du dette julespillet?
Obviously, to say, like, he's got his own family, how can he possibly be so loving to them when he's willing to do horrible things to others? I think that's the intention, or something.
Not quite.
Du drar på festen til Emma.
It's like, I get this is a stylistic choice. Now she's cutting, something is cut, the other woman cutting, but it's like so quick jump cutty. It feels like, remember that series 24? Like that, fuck. But then you'll have these long drawn out scenes where I'm just being really stupid and dumb and stuff. I need to check the credits, but it feels like there's like 3 different writers and directors who just went, here's some ideas, here's my segments, let's just chuck them together. That's literally how it feels like. He chopped their heads off and many men fell to the ground. He goes, oh, do you want a story to go to bed? It cuts to that. Perfect parenting. So we're an hour into this film, and truthfully, like, if we're going on about a film about a serial killer, the first 5 minutes, yeah, I get what you're going for, put that in, like, whatever. Literally everything else, so you could have now, all the character development, you could have cut this hour down, like, this last, like, 40 minutes into about 15 minutes at this stage and just got to where we are now. Easily. But we're an hour in.
Oh, hell no!
For eksempel bulimi.
So going on about eating orders and bulimia and all that shit now, in a film called Christmas Cruelty that's supposed to be about a serial killer, like, thanks to the information and shit, I guess, Christmas Cruelty, horror film, alright? He's like, do you know what this guy used to do to my friend back in school? He used to break his bones. I get bullying in school, but is that a Norwegian thing? Just when you go to school? School? You mean prison? You come out of school with like a minimum of 20 broken bones. Is that a Norwegian thing? I was thinking about visiting a place, to be honest, but is that a thing? I don't know. Why is the top text blue and the rest green? They fucked up there. Okay. So it is the murderer. He's literally just walked in. 2 people walked out a second ago. So did they not walk past him and go, where the fuck are you? So he just hit the guy with the hammer, punched him, and he's going to kidnap her, I guess. Well, she's jumped on the back of him. She's fucking having a go. Fair play. And then he threw it off her back, and she got knocked out. How's she bleeding from the front when he threw it off? But anyway, whatever. This is an excuse to kidnap her, even though 2 seconds ago the other guys went out. Didn't see him or hear the commotion.
Bullshit.
Oh wait, he's tying her up. Are we gonna get another scene? Guy's biting his leg. Go on, mate. Fucking fair play. Well, that knocked him out. Oh no, the guy's on top of him now. Okay, he's got the hammer. He's going to finish off the guy they introduced literally 2 minutes ago, so there's pointless introducing him. Oh wait, there's someone to kill off, alright? And now as a lady death, he's just kind of doing that in the back. I guess a low budget and shit like, but I think I can see why they went for the whole dodgy. Oh, that's actually, look, they've actually used some effects. Fuck me, alright, I'll take back what I was going to say. I thought they had no effects, that's why they went for the whole dodgy angle, but they actually smashed in someone's rubber head and it looked okay-ish.
Respect.
That's quite funny. He's going through the vinyls, just going, oh, let's pick a song to murder you to, Patrick Bateman style. Well, she is putting a condom on, because that was something I was always wondering about. It's like, you're leaving your DNA everywhere. Nope. That, like, safe sex, does this count as safe sex? It's not really safe. You're not safe, and a bit like, what's the movie I did? A Simple Dwarf? You'd think like, oh, maybe, you know, they'll be kind to the main characters. No.
Ho, ho, ho.
So some random people they invited over, he just fucking smacked out. Just stabbed her in the arm, okay. And then he just stamped the knife into the wall. I was quite mad. Into the door even, but she's like kind of stuck there now. She's literally just sawed some guy's head off, okay. He couldn't take a piss because the decapitated head was looking at him. That was actually quite funny, so he had to turn the head around before he could take a piss. Even though it's in a mirror, I can see your reflection, but there we go. But, dark humour, alright, that's one part I guess I'll give it props for. Chucks a boyfriend's head on it. He goes, look after that, mate. I want you to ride the fire truck, and then shoves a knife up her, alright? Well, guessing her character's not living, or if she does she want to live after this? And now he's going down on her.
Fuck this.
Fuck. Did you see this? Look at this.
So what was the point of the condom earlier? Because if she has anything, mate, you've purposely just kind of contracted it. That is rough, the fuck. And he's going to go in afterwards now, is he? I think so, yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, I think that was just a little too much.
Because she said I can't take any more, he just stabbed fuck out of her. Okay. And after that scene, he decided to go back to him being all goofy and funny. Okay.
What?
She's just cutting bread with the knife they used to kill the woman with, alright? She's just done all some murder sprees. He's had like a shower, he's washing his clothes, he's just making himself at home while there's like carnage. Like, neighbours, not like, you know, we heard screaming, we heard like a commotion, none of that, nah. Now he's just sitting on him while he eats food, alright? You've got brittle bone disease, right? I want to try something. And he just easily slaps his legs like that. What the fuck? And now he's just tapping the back of his head with a hammer with no blood coming out. There was bouncing, who's clearly a toy. What? So he left the guy alive, left the apartment, left the one woman with her arm in the door still. Why didn't he like kill them as well? Because they're going to be witnesses. He has no problem killing people. I can only assume he's going to come back or something. He's like, I need to get something special for a guy in a wheelchair. He's like, what are you thinking? He goes, I'm thinking maybe a chainsaw. He's like, come with me. He's not like, they're dangerous, you know, and a wheelchair might not be a great idea. I'm not saying it can't, but the fact he hasn't even questioned him, he's like trying to sell it, is quite funny. But that's what I mean about the tone in this. It starts off like basically a snuff porn film, goes into a pure goo comedy for a long time. He comes back in, goes back into a very prolonged snuff film kind of vibes, and now a guy's trying to sell him a chainsaw in his semi-comedy. Okay? Daddy's coming home soon. I have to finish this guy off. So he's open with his wife and that then, alright? And now he's cutting off his legs. Okay? Well, I was surprised that that's the route they went for with this one, alright? She's cut his one arm off because it's still attached to his other one. Okay. I mean, at this point now, they kind of given up and went, let's go fully silly. It's clearly like rubber arms. We haven't even gone that gross with the cutting up. They just... It's like, as the film went on, he went, let's go less about the cruelty now in the last 10 minutes or what? Okay. Okay, so that was Christmas Cruelty from 2013. Bit of a mixed bag with this one, if I'm completely honest. I'm not fully decided, so based on what I'm going to say now, we'll kind of just spark whether I give it a dud or spud, really. Like, so, the reason it's a mixed bag, it opens up, right, and it's basically, like, kind of snuff porny-ish vibes. You know, I've seen a guinea pig series, I've seen a Serbian movie, I've seen, like, a lot of these extreme films, and I was like, all right, so they're going for that direction, are they? Fuck, this is going to take a lot of editing and shit, like, which you still will. That happens, right, in the intro. It's pretty, like, all right, rough. This is a film we're going for. Christmas Cruelty, I guess, makes sense. Then it switches to, like, a goofy comedy about three friends. And the three people, they're all, like, their real names. So I'm guessing they were all, like, involved in the making of it. I need to check the credits, but I'm guessing they're the writers and directors. That's the vibe I get. It's, like, a very personal feel at that point. It just seems like just a fun friend comedy. So then it goes, all right, so we're not doing snuff porn no more. We're going into like a more friend comedy. I wouldn't say family friendly because they're using the terms cunts and all this left, right, and centre, but more of like a comedy, goofy comedy, all right. Goes on for a while, that does. Lots of scenes. Like, the intro is quite prolonged. It makes you uncomfortable, but they've done what they were going for, I guess. But then they have all these scenes of them just like fucking about, making the drinks, and it's going on for ages. Getting fucked is going on for ages. You're like, you could have cut this down significantly and we still would have had the same idea. I didn't dislike the characters, if I'm honest, like, you know what I mean? I actually quite liked them, but you didn't need to put as much in there as you did. I can tell it's a passion project, but because of how much you prolonged the non-horror shit, I can tell. Then, like, a bit later on, and it goes like into like more dark, dry humor comedy. Then it goes into like the snuffy shit again. Then it switches and it goes back in. You know what I mean? It's so the vibe's like this. It doesn't have a consistent. Is it just pure dark comedy, which you could argue it is, but it's not really, because for the big portion of the film they're just goofing around and it's got nothing to do with darkness. It's strange, like, you know, but then the Christmas Cruelty does live up to it, because the beginning part is very like, all right, and then it takes you off guard, which, if that's what they're going for, fair enough, but it's not necessarily effective then, because it's like, it feels like three different writers and directors are involved, and there's three main people in here who go by their name. Did you all have, like, well, one of you, like, oh, I make music videos, because you have a part where, like, this is what's weird about the film. They have, like, scenes where it's the torture scenes are very prolonged and that. So you're like, yeah, I'm getting uncomfortable feeling. You've done out. Fine. Then, like, the unnecessary scenes where he's, like, driving over the bridge. They show the whole thing of him just slowly going over the bridge. Wasting time here. Loads of that kind of shit where it's like, yeah, I get the joke or whatever. Just cut it. Nope, they prolong them. And then, out of nowhere, there'll be shots of them, like, where they're, like, going, it goes from the murderer to the woman, and it's, like, that 24, where it's, like, flat shots, because she's cutting bread, now she's cutting this, and it's, like, doom. But you're supposed to do that when it's an action scene or tense going on, and all it is dialogue is just a guy going, well, I'm going to do this for Christmas and all that, and they're trying to make that all, like, action-packedy, and it's, like, what are you doing, like, you know what I mean, at that point? So it's really confusing with the editing. It's, like, three people got involved in it, it seems to me, and went, this is my version of a film, chuck a bit of that in here, chuck a bit of this. So it definitely is over the place with tone-wise, and you could argue, oh, that was the intention. Whether it was or not, that is a problem to me, right? Again, this is interesting, because, like, Christmas Cruelty, they end up living up to it for a big part of the film. I'm like, where's the Christmas Cruelty? I'm ripping the fuck into it. But then it takes ages, literally. It's like the last third act, when they go into it, then they fucking really go into it, like. And they have that little part when he's going and buying a chainsaw, and they go, oh, let's make this funny again. Go back into it. Loads of, like, really dodgy, like, you know, scenes in there and stuff, like. So they live up to it with that, but it's just so over the place. This is why I'm confused. Even if that was the idea they were going for, maybe you've done your job, but it's not effective, because part of me is going, this should have been a shortened down snuff torture film, so the people who are into that would have got what they want. or take all that shit away and just make it a pure comedy and make the killer like a dumbass or something, but you deal with these characters because they were quite likable characters. So then, like, you're liking them, and then it's like, I get it, like, oh, let's make, like, likable characters and then completely, like, obliterate them and stuff, like, so it's, like, all over the place. That's where I'm really, like, on the bounds here, like, so I don't know whether to give it a dud or spud, I'm honest, because in ways they did what they meant to do, but overall it's a mess of a film. But it did have its effective moments, you know what I mean? You know what? Because I understand where they were going with some of it, although like it's a mess. It is a mess of film. I'm just going to give us a spud, and you might be like, how is he doing that? Because it's called Christmas Cruelty, and the cruel points are very cruel. Even though most of the film isn't that, really, when it does do it, it does it. It should have been significantly shortened down. Maybe have two films, like have like an alternative verse where one is not a horror film or it's like a dumb serial killer you can fuck about with them characters, how would it work? Or just have a shortened down snuff torture film for the people into that, I guess, you know? It's like you try to combine them all. But yeah, it is weird giving it a spud, I'll be honest. But like, it's on the line. By all means, I'd never tell no one to watch this film. Like, I'd be like, if you really want to, it's up to you. I'm not going to recommend it. You make your own decision. But it's a weird film. It made me think. It did have its moments, although there was a lot I ripped on about it, and I still will. It also was effective at what it was trying to do. And although most of it was filmed on, like, it looks like a phone, and I get you were going for the grainy effect, like, there's a lot of technical things I could go on and shit on as well, which I haven't even touched, to be honest with you, but honestly, like, there's a lot to say about this film, which, again, like, that's kind of why I'm giving this spud, because I'll be thinking about this a bit after this, going, oh, what about that, what about that, what about that? But it's strange, you know, it's a weird spud, I will say, it's a weird spud. It's kind of like Baby Cat, how I give out a spud, and afterwards I'm like, how did I give out a spud? It's going to be one of them ones, right? Whatever. If you've seen this film, if you have, let me know. Can you clarify some parts for me that I clearly didn't understand? If you can, please help me out here. What did you make of it if you have seen it? Yeah, I don't really have much more to say, you know, Christmas Cruelty. Let's get into some more nicer vibe ones, I guess, because that was rough when it got rough. But otherwise, I've been Maniacal Mac. Thanks for joining until next time. Peace out.
Maniacal Mac.